Okay, so here we go. It's time to do some actual light painting. This is where we get into some fundamentals of controlling the light. And I think it's one of the most misunderstood aspects of light painting that I think people overlook. And if you can get a grip or even just a fundamental grasp on these three components of setting up your camera, it is a wonderful place to start. And that is the relationship between aperture, exposure time, and ISO. Now, you don't need to look far on Google to understand the exposure triangle, which is that triangle between exposure time, aperture, and ISO. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to relate that. You can go and spend all the time you like looking at that, but here we're going to I'm going to explain to you as clear as possible how that relationship applies to light painting. So in this tutorial, I've got the Olympus M1 Mark III, again, the 7-14 lens. It's just nice and wide for me here for the purpose of explaining. But remember, please, this giant thing on the top here is just a recorder, so you can see things as they're happening on the screen, which is great. And we're going to be using one of the diamond arc-light blades in orange with a universal connector, and this is quite a grunty torch, but it's just a torch in the back. So those are the tools we're going to be using to work through this tutorial. So let's talk about the relationship between aperture, exposure time, and ISO. So here's the way to think about it. Aperture fundamentally controls the brightness of our tool, and I'm going to show you how that works. So if our tool is too overexposed or underexposed, we use the aperture to control that, and the exposure time controls the ambient light. And we're in a great environment for me to show that, even though it looks quite bright in here, it's very dim. Unfortunately, most of the light in here is from the green emergency exit lights. But anyway, that's going to give us enough light on our background to clearly show how that relationship works. So our aperture controls the brightness of the tool. The exposure time is the ambient. And many times through these tutorials, you'll see that ISO, basically, if our lens only goes to f3.5 or f5.6, we can just use ISO just to crank it. There'll be many times when we do that, and I'll show you some great tricks around that. But in this tutorial, really what we're going to be looking at is exposure time and aperture. All right, let's get into it. So I have focused up on the foreground. Head to the tutorial about focusing in the dark if you need to understand that. But basically I'm using manual focus. The foreground is lit up, and I know it's lit up there. So what I'm going to do is the tool, I've just got the tool set up on a basic setting. I'm going to start recording the screen here. Brilliant. So we're recording the screen so you can see what's happening. I'm going to turn these lights off. Now we have the camera set to f5.6 for 10 seconds at the base ISO, which in this instance is 200, but whatever it is on your camera, that's fine. So I'm going to turn these lights out. And let's make a light painting. Oh my God, this is the first light painting of our series, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so I'm up to the camera now, set at f5.6 for 10 seconds. Now, I've set a 2-second delay, which gives me a bit of time to get out there. Let's make an image. So, 2-second delay. I'm just going to move in front of the camera with the blade, moving it around, and let's get an image and then chat about it. All right, so we're all done. Coming back over to the camera, and there we go. We have an image on the back of the screen. That's exciting. So I'm going to turn the light on and let's have a bit of a chat about it. So I'll bring it up so that you can see it, and right now you'll be looking at a recording of the back of the screen. So what am I looking at here? Well, we've got the orange blade. It's got a nice sharp point. If we zoom in, you can see here we've got a nice sharp point, which is the tip of the blade. Now we have some hot points. Now what I mean by hot, let me come over here and I'll zoom up, and you can see these bits where it's really bright. So So right in the middle of the screen now, you can see that's overexposed, so it's bright white. We're never going to recover that detail in the image. It's overexposed and gone. So I'll zoom back out and let's have a look at the total image. Now fundamentally, as a light painting image, it's fine. The background is completely dark, even though there is something in the background. But I'm going to make a change a setting, and let's have a look at it. So we'll turn the lights back off. I'm going to come and I'm going to change the set. I'm going to open up, stay at 10 seconds, come all the way out to f2.8, and let's make a light painting and see how it goes. So basically, fundamentally, the same movement, just moving the blade through the scene, in one side and out the other. And let's take a look at that. All right, it's really interesting. So what have we got? The tool is a lot brighter. So if we zoom into some of these, if we have a look, so that area that was overexposed, there's a lot more of those now through the image. All right, but here's something interesting. Look, we can see the background a little bit, which is kind of cool. So we've lit up the floor. Look, I've got my white-soled shoes on. That's interesting. But you can see if we compare the two images, there's the first one, there's the one before. So the fundamental difference is that the tool is a lot brighter. All right, so it's a lot brighter. There's a few more bits that are overexposed. And over here, there's a lot of bits that are underexposed. But over here, of course, if we think about our exposure triangle, the background is illuminated a whole lot more. However, for me, I prefer the first image, right? I like that. I think the tool is better exposed, but we don't have any background. So thinking about what we were talking. All right, so thinking about that. So I prefer the first image. I prefer the first image that was less blown out. This is a pretty basic tool. Over time you will get used to all the different tools. I prefer this image, but I want to have a bit of background. So I don't want to add any light to the background. So what do? We want to control the ambient light, which is our exposure time. I don't want to change the brightness of the tool, so I leave the aperture the same. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave the aperture at f. What was it? It was f2.8. Sorry, it was f5.6, and I'm going to change the exposure time from 10 up to 20 seconds, and let's see what happens. All right, let's get into it. So let's go. So I'm going to go f5.6 because I liked the way the tool was. So I'm at f5.6, and let's change the exposure time to 20 seconds. There's a 2-second delay. Shutter's open, and I'm just going to come through the scene again. All right, let's see how that goes. Need to wait for 20 seconds, of course. All right, so there's our image. Now, what do we got here? We can't, so the tool, so if we go back through, the tool is the same. Whoops. Yep, so the tool looks about the same as the first one, but we still can't see anything in the background at f5.6. So here's what we're going to do. Let's imagine we were outside. I'm going to change the exposure time to 30 seconds, and let's go. 2-second delay. Nothing's changing. Coming through the scene, basically the same. Tool is at the same brightness, but we need to wait for 30 seconds. So, as I was talking about with our tutorials, let's accelerate through to 30 seconds. Alrighty, there we go. So, looking at this, we can see that the, let's turn the lights on. All right, so if we hit play and we take a look at this image, we can see that the tool, the fundamental brightness of the tool hasn't changed if we scroll back through. So the tool is about the same brightness. There's the one where we cranked it up. But by extending the exposure time out to 30 seconds, we can see the background a lot clearer. So you can see that Aperture controls the tool brightness and exposure time controls the ambient light. Of course, and we'll be doing this a lot through the tutorials, we could hit the background with a bit of light and it'll light up like a Christmas tree. We'll be doing that. So here's what I want to do. Let's do an experiment. Let's crank the ISO and I'll show you what happens. So we'll stay at f5.6. Let's say we didn't want to be going for 30 seconds. We'll stay at f5.6. So I'm going to grab the ISO and we're going to bump up to 800. Why not? Just for fun. So at f5.6, 10 seconds and a whole lot of ISO, and let's see what happens. I love ISO. I'm a big fan. A lot of people hesitate because they think things are going to be noisy. Well, I couldn't really give a shit about noise. I'd rather see you getting the image or getting the exciting image that you would like. Cool, so let's turn the lights on, let's hit play. Well, there you go, that's a bit exciting. So now we're at 10 seconds and we can see everything because the ISO is cranked up. So the ISO brings everything up. It takes whatever exposure time you've got, the brightness of your tool, and it just accentuates everything. We're going to look at ISO a lot through the tutorials. There's 3 different images. So we're going to go through on the screen now. I'll put the different images up on the screen, show the EXIF data, what the settings were, and you'll see what the differences were. That's the relationship between exposure time, aperture, and a bit of ISO. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed this visit to the School of Light. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll be adding videos all the time. Head over to the Light Painting Tool Shop at the website. There's a huge array of tools I've made there for you to take on your light painting journey. Peace.